Hello everybody and welcome to Road Atlanta for the latest round in the Radical Race Series for Season 3 of 2026. The SR8 versus SR10 format is back once again, as it is every Thursday night here. 2 races as always, 12 laps in a sprint race, 20 laps in the feature coming up a bit later tonight. It's myself, Ewan, James Parfitt with you here in commentary. And James, last week we were at Imola, which is a similar circuit in that there's one long straight and then lots of corners in between times. That's the same around here at Road Atlanta, but the balance was very much tipped in the SR10's favour as its straight line speed was just too much really for everybody else. Last week, obviously, the BOP is balanced every week to try and make it as close as possible. We'll see how close it is this time, and we'll see just what an advantage the SR10s have, if any, at a circuit, as I say, very similar to last week.
Yeah, it's very, very close this week. The 8s are out in front on a 1:15.235 with Simon Renard, Woodward, Brown and Braun in behind them. And you've got Bousson and Gullickson. So I think they've gone very, very close on the whole BOP this week, which is quite interesting considering, really. It's basically weight penalty for the SR8s. It's 45 kilos. Engine power has gone up to 104%. Taken out 45 kilos out of the 10 and reduced the engine power to 97%. So very close indeed. It should be an interesting one, I think. I don't know how much we're going to have make a lot of difference. I think that back straight from turn 7 to 10 is going to be an interesting one to see how these guys get on. But yeah, I think Road Atlanta is going to be interesting indeed. Imola was impressive though. Gonzaga taking the win in both races in the SR10. Renard winning the SR8 for race number 1 and Gullickson winning the SR8s for race number 2. So going to be an interesting one, I think, this week. Could be exciting, as it always will be.
Yeah, indeed. It always is in the Radical Race Series. In terms of those standings, I'll just run through them a little bit. Ray Peasley leading the SR10s, still by 33 points in front of Dominic Pavera. Patricio Silva rounding out the top 3, and Heinz Braun only just 1 further point behind. But Heinz Braun wasn't here last week, so is back again now. In the SR8, Simon Renan is leading, 13 points in front of Mike Bousson, a further 16 in front of Oleg Gullickson. Stefan Mellis then is next, and then a bit of a gap back to Hubert Gullickson, who's only been at 2 rounds so far, and so is everybody else below that. Hubert Gullickson is not here today. I can see Oleg Gullickson, but Hubbard not here. The current pole sitter is Simon Renan with a 15.0. He's in an SR8, and that is nearly 3 tenths, 2.5 tenths quicker than any SR10 in this field so far. So, but again, we saw this a little bit at Imola. I'm not sure exactly who did take pole, but it was very close. But it was in the race where the straight line speed advantage really won things out for the SR10s. Good that the SR8s have got some speed though. And what's this time going to be from Renan? It's no quicker that time round, but encouraging signs for him and the relatively few SR8 friends that he has in this race, actually. Good signs for them that he's qualified so well there.
Yeah, absolutely. It was important when it last week, that run down from the final corner straight down into Tamburello. The SR8s were just getting absolutely mullered. They were just... yeah, they were practically standing still from the 10. So I'm hoping this week is a little bit more balanced. It's good to see Renard out in front as well, let's not forget. And I just hope they're a little bit more closer, and I feel they might be this week. So it could be an interesting fight as well. But let's see how some of these get on. You say Renard at the moment on a 1:15.093.
Looks like that's going to be the time as well as the seconds tick away in qualifying. Yeah, Renan's in the pit lane. Most of the others are going at a slow pace. You can see here Heinz Braun pulling over here. The next 3 all in pit lane. Nobody with a chance to get another lap in before the finish of that session. So that's qualifying. Time for the first action of the day. The 12-lap sprint race in slightly more overcast conditions than what we had in qualifying there, just as the session has moved forward. Drivers will get themselves onto the grid here round that final corner. It's Simon Renan who takes the pole in front of Heinz Braun. Robert Woodward and Seth Brown will be sharing row 2 there in the SR8s, then 10s rather, then the SR8s of Oleg Gullickson and Mike Bousson on row 3. Patricio Silva and Ray Peasley back on row 4 there, the top contenders in the championship there. Stefan Mellis and Jan-Erik Skresrud is then rounding out the top 10. Dominic Pavera, Phil Glover and Bruno Vittorino rounding out the field here at Road Atlanta. Just waiting on Simon Renan now to get himself onto the grid and get us underway here at Road Atlanta. As I say, they grid up, even in this relatively small field, they're still having to grid up round the back of the final corner there, such as the standing start that we have in this series. Just a good job the field's not bigger. Some people were starting down the hill on the other side of the racetrack. But here we go. The race is underway. And look at that start from Mike Bousson. He goes from one side to the other. And he's going to the inside for third. What a great start that is. He's going to be challenged there, though, by Seth Brown, who looks to hold on to that third place. But he can't. What a launch from Mike Bousson, who's already up to third place.
Yeah, Mike Bousson getting an absolutely flying start there off the grid. Did an absolutely stellar job. He's now got to settle in behind Simon Renard. See how he gets on. Renard obviously got jumped at the beginning by Braun as well. There was a few other places changed as well. Bruno Vinorino is another big gainer. He's up 4 places on this opening lap as well. Just about to go for number 5, and he did go for number 5. Got the job done there as well. But this is where it's all going to make a difference. What's it going to be like coming down this straight?
Yeah, indeed. This is where the real advantage for the SR10s comes into play. And watch out for 4th place Seth Brown here, because he's got a double slipstream as well. He's going to be alongside Bousson here. It's not absolutely overpowering, but just towards the end of the straight, he's going to slip through quite easily. He looks to the inside as well for second on Simon Renan, but he's not able to do that quite. Heinz Braun in the lead then in the SR10s, and look at the exit that Bousson's got off the final corner, by the way, into the right-hander. They get very close to one another. That's going to give the run to Woodward on both of them, in fact, as they're pretty much dead even down the front straight. Bousson wins the place back again. Oh, and he just about slides his way in front of Seth Brown there, who comes back at him over the top of the hill. Can't quite get down the inside there, but what a pass that is for Mike Bousson. He's got himself back through again into third. It seems like these two cars are fairly well balanced here in the early going. Well, Woodward just made a normal pass there on Seth Brown. They're in the SR10s together, of course, but also there was Mike Bousson, so it was going to be a double overtake just briefly. But Bousson, again with a great exit off of that final chicane, which he got last time as well, is keeping them both behind. Now, can he keep them both behind again here? He's going to give the slipstream to Woodward, and that will keep them rather even, and that will help Bousson. That's why he gave the slipstream to Woodward there. He wants this battle. He needs this so that he can pull away. Woodward breaks a bit later. He steams back through in front of Seth Brown, but that was aided by Mike Bousson, who benefits a little bit from this battle in behind him. Yeah, indeed. This is a proper SR10 battle as well, like what you would see in an officials race these days in the Radical Esports Cup, of course, where Road Atlanta is also the circuit, don't forget, as we follow the schedule here. It's a draft track, really, in these SR10s, when it's all SR10s in the field. Because of that long back straight there, it's one of those circuits, much like Imola, where you can pull away if you're fast enough. You can get out the slipstream. It is possible. But you can also even if you're not as quick as the guy in front of you, stay in the slipstream and stay close as a result of that. And that's a little bit what we're seeing between not only Seth Brown and Robert Woodward, but Bruno Vitorino as well, who's gained 7 places to be here.
At this current time, so hopefully you should see Woodward and Brown fight, and that might give Buson a little bit more breathing room. Renard slowly closing in. Last time out though, 15-1 for Heinz Braun, 1-1-7, 15-2 for Simon Renard. So not much gain from Renard last time out, but he's still trying, and Buson still trying to get away. No moves coming down from this straightaway. Coming in through the chicane, up through turn 11 they go. Then they get a steep drop down the hill, in through the final corner. You see Vitorino looks like he's poised to have a go at Robert Woodward there.
Yeah, he's looking good in this group at the moment. It's Bruno Vitorino. I say he's gained 7 places to be in this group, which is quite extraordinary in itself. But he's looking for more now as they complete the first third of this sprint race. By the way, 12 laps and 4 of those completed already. Woodward a little bit out of shape here, coming through the S's, coming over the top of the hill there. He's going to have his chance very soon, I think. Looking at the gap, Woodward a little bit loose there, coming off of turn 5 as well. Didn't even really get anywhere close to that outside curb. Those bumps on the outside, that curb as well, that can throw you left very quickly and into the wall. Here comes Bruno Vitorino though. He's almost too close, and he's not got a very good run coming out of that final corner, that most important corner before the back straight here. The long run down towards turn 10A, and look at this, he's in the slipstream, but he's nowhere near at the moment. He's going to maybe arrive late on in the day, but not soon enough. Vitorino there, as I say, was too close going into turn 7 there.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one. He definitely was tucked in a little bit tight. Renard did get very, very close to Braun. No overtake happening there at the moment though, but we're keeping an eye on the guys at the front. You can see Vitorino now is diving for that inside line going into turn 1. Up through the right-hander he goes, and it's going to be up the hill for Vitorino. Woodward's going to hold the inside for turn 3. Is he going to be able to make it through? No, there was contact, unfortunately. And Robert Woodward does a 360 out onto the exit road, floors the wheels, and away he goes. But he has got to slow down for his trouble, and I've got a funny feeling, I'm not quite sure how that worked on that one. We need to go back just a little bit. Was that one?
Net code?
Yeah, there was a gap there.
A little bit. I feel like they might have made contact anyway, but I can't really decide who was at fault for that, to be honest with you. I don't think anybody was too egregious in that one. Here's the battle for the lead meantime. Simon Renard has got back on terms with Heinz Braun here through pure pace, and he's not going to be able to overtake in a straight line here in that SR8, but in the slipstream it does at least stand a chance, and that was not the case last week when we were at Imola. So we reached the halfway mark in this race as we cross the line here, and how is Simon Renard going to be able to get himself past the SR10 he finds himself in front of at the moment? Heinz Braun just in front of him there, still holding on to this lead, but here are the corners where the SR8 can make up some more time.
Yeah, you see from the lap times on the bottom there as well, you can see it's literally been Renard has pulled 2, 4, 5, maybe 6 temps, 6.5 temps over the last 3 laps on Heinz Braun. He has closed in and closed in and closed in, so he's going to have a go. But the question, as you say, Ewan, is where can he have a go here? Where's he going to be able to hold it? Because if the pace is too tight for the 10 and they are too quick, that run from 7 to 10 ain't going to really help him.
Oh, indeed. Look how close he is through 7 there. But as you say, he's got to find a way through here, and look at this exit that he's got here, and he's so close that he's pulled alongside immediately, but now he's not got the slipstream. He's going to be outpaced, I would say, by the SR10, but has he got the legs here? He's at least got the legs to stay there. If he can go late on the brakes, he can't quite, but that might be the way forward. He might just have to try and make sure he's still at least alongside by the time they hit the brakes at that far chicane. He can't hope for much more than that, but he'll hope that... Oh, and he's got the lead somehow. He's got the lead. He's just dived down the inside of the final turn. It's that exit they're getting off that final chicane there. These SR8s are so strong there. And he's got it now. In the background, Seth Brown is using his straight line speed on the front straight to get past in towards turn 1 on Mike Bousson for 3rd place. Renan goes wide now where he should be quick. This is a very well balanced track and combination at the moment for these SR8s and SR10s, because on one battle the SR8 makes them pass on the traction, on the other an SR10 on the front straight there. Seth Brown getting past Mike Bousson as well.
Yeah, great job from the 10s at the moment. You can see there on the left-hand side, Renard did clear Braun, and it wasn't even here, but as you say, it's that exit coming out of 10A and 10B that they get the 8s. It's allow them to hold the power going through in through 11, and then they make the move, dropping through 11, dropping down the hill into 12, and then managing to hold it and hold it and hold it. And Renard has actually opened up quite a nice little gap at the moment. It's only 3.5 temps, but he will hold it going down into the chicane, which is very, very important indeed. Vitorino's just about to clear Bousson, but watch whether or not Bousson's going to get this coming out of this chicane, whether or not he's going to get this run up the hill, and he should be able to try, maybe get underneath Vitorino going through the final corner. Doesn't look like he's going to make it this time.
It's not quite the exit that he was looking for there, coming off of the final chicane. So no way for Bousson to get through there. Just needs to stay with Seth Brown and Bruno Vitorino. I do wonder if something's happened to him. I mean, the way that Seth Brown got past him seemed a bit unusual to me, and the way now that Bruno Vitorino has followed through is also a little bit strange. So this is puzzling at the moment, but Mike Bousson just not quite able to find the speed that he's looking for right now, and he's just dropped back behind Seth Brown and Bruno Vitorino. In the background, Oleg Gullickson's gone off, by the way. First driver, I think, to go off properly through turn 5. I don't think he's hit the wall that hard. Well, let's find out. He has hit the wall a little bit. That's that turn 5 curb there, which, excuse me. First time we've seen someone come unstuck with that, and this is Yannick Strefstrud, who's been in the pit lane for 2.5 minutes since this happened.
Yeah, he has, and you see Braun close in on Renard once again. You can see Seth Brown under attack from Vitorino. Vitorino's going to try and come in off the exit here. He should try and tuck in underneath him. You can see he's just a little bit to the left of him. Now he's dropping down the hill. You see that run again out the 8. Bousson didn't really lose much time. Vitorino, oh!
Whoa.
Oh, I wonder if there was contact.
There was.
Oh, minimal amount, but he did hit him. Unfortunately there, Vitorino did catch Brown, and Brown is damaged. Pavera's got a penalty. I'm going to guess that's probably off tracks. And Brown with a slowdown, yep, and the meatball. I was waiting for the meatball to come in, and there you go. He has got that one as well. So there we go.
Well, there's still a chance here for him to hold on to a top 10 and therefore a reverse grid pole, because Dominic Pavera's just come into pit lane, as well as Yannick Strefstrud, who's in there at the moment as well. Oh, he's towed though, isn't he, Seth Brown? I think that's why he's shot up to the top there. Has he?
No, he is.
He's cut the corner. He's done the short layout here. He's taken the short layout from turn 5 where you turn left. There's a short layout which takes you a long right-hander straight onto the back straight. And there's the leaders, Renard and Brown. I mean, he's going to get the biggest slowdown the world's ever seen with that. But he's going to have to come into pit lane. That might be the smartest call he's made here, because he's going to come in. He might get a penalty for it anyway, but it won't matter as long as he stays in front of Phil Glover, who at the moment is 11th place, and he's just over 1 lap down. So that might have been very smart there from Seth Brown here, who's come in to a bit of a professional foul, if a football term. He's coming to the pit lane. He's probably got a penalty for the biggest slowdown ever seen, but he might well keep 10th place, and that will help him in the next race.
I don't really know what to say about that. That's really quite cheeky from Seth Brown. Isn't it?
It is a bit.
It's a little bit cheeky. He's sort of just not there. Where is he? He sort of just went to the other side.
Yeah, here we go. It'll be just after this. So when you turn left here, he's done a good job of staying out of everybody's way, to be fair. But it's just there. When you turn left normally, it's a split-second decision as well. He's remembered there's an access road here, and it's not blocked off or anything. He can just go through. And obviously, initially tries to slow down, I guess, maybe to think about clearing the slowdown penalty, but then thinks, well, I'm never going to do that, so just going to carry on. Anyway, Heinz Braun, meantime, is taking the lead from Simon Renan here on the straight. He's around the outside through the first pot. Renan's going to turn back underneath him again, using that traction off the penultimate corner. He's going to get the lead, coming onto the final lap. Heinz Braun sliding as he comes over the top of the hill there. The car's getting light, and Braun trying to get this lead back again. On the straight, round the outside, he's going to go here. He's against the stronger car in the corners, but he might well do it anyway. Heinz Braun round the outside at turn 1 in an SR10 takes this race lead.
What a great move from Braun, round the outside of 1. That was absolutely stellar job from him. Seth Brown has got a penalty, mind you. I don't know if that is just for cutting the corner, which is no surprise. Yeah, but Renard got a snap coming out of 5. He's got to try and hold on here. He needs this run out of 7 to 10 if he's going to be anywhere near this car. He's got to get within 3 tenths, maybe. Oh, 3.7 is going to be really close going down into 10.8.
Yeah, that wasn't a great exit from Heinz Braun there. He could have really driven that advantage home when it was Simon Renard making that mistake. But he's in the slipstream. He might be at the perfect distance here, Renard, because he's going to get the slipstream right the way down here. And he's going to have to brake really, really late. But he's got a chance. Oh, he's not quite got the line right there. Heinz Braun's defended well. And even with the exit here from Renard, I think Heinz Braun's going to hang on. You never know until the final corner with these two cars. But what a great race. SR10 versus SR8. Very well balanced. But Heinz Braun wins the race. Simon Renard wins his class in a great fight between those two. These cars are so well matched, and that was a fantastic battle between those two drivers.
Yeah, absolutely was. Stellar job. It came down to the last lap, last corner for Heinz Braun. Stellar run from him. Made that move around the outside of 1, and that really set him up there, I think, as well. I think he was just got that run, got full of confidence, and took that car home over the line. Stellar run from him.
Fantastic. A great race between the two of them. And in the next race, of course, we get to do it for a third of a race longer. We get to go on for another 8 laps. So, yeah, we'll look forward to that as the 2-minute warm-up session gets underway. We'll have a look at the race results from race number 1. Heinz Braun's gap in the end, a 10th of a second in front of Simon Renard. Bruno Vittorino holding on from Mike Bousson in that other battle there. Robert Woodward ran out the top 5 ahead of Ole Gullickson. Then it was Patricio Silva, who finished in 7th place. Ray Peasley in 8th. Stefan Mellis and Seth Brown, who will be disappointed with 10th. But will he get a penalty? Seth Brown, is that a post race?
Yeah, he would have had the penalty at the end if he's come out of the pits with the penalty to say that obviously he cut the corner, which we believe that's what it would be for. Then he would get it at the end of that race, so it shouldn't affect him going into the next one.
Well, you say that. Didn't he only finish a few seconds in front of Phil Glover, or was he?
No,
further than that.
I think he was further than that, and then the 40 seconds that he would have got for not taking off the penalty would have put him a few seconds in front of Glover.
Okay, because on the timing screen as they came over the line there, it said 2.6 seconds, but I'm not entirely sure there. Anyway, the top 10 will be reversed, as you'll see with the grid in a minute's time. But if he is on pole there, Seth Brown, then that gives him a great chance, I think, because he was very quick in that first race. Just had that incident, of course, which blew his front right up, first of all, but also took him out the back there. So, yeah, it's going to be a big chance for him, I think. And I mean, Bruno Vittorino got all the way up to 3rd there, despite starting at the back of the field. Who's to count him out from doing that again? He starts from 8th place, which is better than what he started with in the previous race. Who's to say that he won't come through the field with 8 laps longer as well to challenge at the front as well?
Yeah, Vittorino's in with a good shout, to be blatantly honest with you. I think it was up 7 places or 8 places in race number 1. So fair play to him. It's going to be interesting to see how he gets on coming through the field. But really, with the speed that Seth Brown had in race number 1, you kind of got to go towards him and put your money on him a little bit, being at the front.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the warm-up session will come to a close now, and we'll be ready to go. I won't read through the whole grid, but we'll show it for you just to see the top 10 reversed here for this second race. As always, it is Seth Brown who's going to start on the pole then, indeed. So he has a very, very good chance. But the championship leader in the SR10s, Ray Peasley, is not far away, for example, in 3rd place. And some of the big names from the previous race, the likes of Simon Renard and Heinz Braun, those two who fought for the lead, obviously 9th for 10th. Bousson and Vittorino will continue from where they left off on row 4 as well. Phil Glover, Dominic Pavera and Jan-Erik Skresrud are the only drivers to not benefit from this reverse grid, with 13 in the field today. We'll see if Skresrud actually races this final race of the day, because so far he's not on the grid. And he will race indeed. He spent the last few minutes of the last race down in the pit lane, which is why I was slightly sceptical. But good to see that he is in for the final race, as well as everybody else. As the Patricio Silva we're waiting for at the moment, and that second row of the grid. There he is, pops into place in the SR10, which of course dominates this field. 9 of those, 4 of the SR8s, as we get ready for race number 2 at Road Atlanta. We're underway, and what a start that is from Stefan Mellis, or it's a bad start from Seth Brown. Bousson steaming up the side as well. This is remarkable. Mike Bousson, a great launch off the line for the second race in a row, as also Stefan Mellis takes this race lead with 3 wide coming up towards the top of the hill there. Woodward's involved. He's on the outside making a dive up over the top of the hill there as they all get single filed out eventually. What a start from Stefan Mellis, but also from Mike Bousson, who gained 5 places before they've even turned a corner in this race.
He motored that start away and did an absolutely stellar job with it as well. Mellis down into second at the moment. I think he might struggle to hold on to it here.
Well, indeed, but he's got the lead for now. Look at this. Well, he had the lead, sorry. He's side by side. He's 3 wide. Seth Brown going to get past here, as is Bruno Vitorino, who's also made a brilliant start. He's going to be one of the big favourites here. Seth Brown really had a chance to distance some of these other favourites, but a poor start means that Bruno Vitorino has already got in front of him by the end of the first lap. Seth Brown down 2 places. Bruno Vitorino and Mike Bousson both up 6.
Yeah, great runs from both of them as well. We did say that Vitorino was going to be a possible threat here to see how he gets on. Mellis running down the line. Gullickson spun. Gullickson is round on the start line. Unfortunately for Ole there, he did go off, and unfortunately for him, has given himself some drama, dropped all the way down to the back end of the field. Mike Bousson's got a challenge on his hands, and the challenge comes in the hands of Vitorino, and it's going to be whether or not Browns can even stay with them here. It's going to be very, very tight indeed. Silva, Woodward, Renard, Mellis, Heinz Braun down in 8th. Not really picked up many places at the beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Needed to gain some more there. I think the top 6 are the ones who are realistically contending for this race at the moment. Although there are a couple of names that you wouldn't always expect to see. Patricio Silva is in here at the moment. We'll see how long he can hang on for. And Robert Woodward as well. They're both in 4th and 5th. So Simon Renan needs to get ahead of them, I would say, quite quickly. Otherwise, he's going to get caught behind them and he's going to lose this group. Here comes Woodward again. And Renan's going to try and take both of them here. Obviously, he's in the slipstream, which will help him. But he doesn't have the straight line speed. And neither does Mike Bousson, who's getting absolutely monstered there by Vitorino. And here comes Seth Brown as well. Very nearly got into the side of Bousson. Only Vitorino gets past in the end as Bousson's straight line speed problems come back to haunt him again.
Yeah, it's really weird, isn't it, on that one? Simon Renard has done a great job. He's now up 4 places. He's chasing down Woodward, Woodward chasing down Brown, Brown chasing down Bousson. So lots of fights still getting on. Jan Erik has unfortunately had another bit of a drama. He's dropped down the field, still in 12th, not dead last at the moment. But these guys up front are very, very close together indeed.
Well, Vitorino is starting to pull on the elastic band, if you like, of the front group right now. Can he break this margin between himself and Mike Bousson here, who's supposed to be better through this first sector in the SR8? At the moment is not, and I wonder whether that's already a big enough gap here for Vitorino to be out of the slipstream, or whether Bousson's just bringing him back here. Of course, strong through turns 6 and 7 there down at the east end of the racetrack. Or the south end, I should say, sorry. The important end where you get out of that final turn and then you're on to the long back straight. Renan getting past Silva in the background, a very important move for him as he gets into the slipstream of Robert Woodward, who's into the slipstream himself of Seth Brown. They're all going to stay as they are, but no one's got an answer for Bruno Vitorino at the moment, who's running away with this.
Yeah, absolutely. Gomez just lost places there. Unfortunately, he's now down 3. Heinz Braun 1.4 seconds back. Good evening, George, in YouTube chat there as well. I hope you are well, joining us for race number 2. Great start here from Mike Bousson, but it's whether or not he's now going to be able to hang on with the ever-looming Seth Brown behind him, coming at him as well. So going to be very, very tough for Bousson at the moment. And I think Woodward has disconnected.
Oh no, he's back. Wow, that was a long blink. He's back again, is Woodward.
Oh, he's there. How weird.
That was a long blink, that. Which he's gotten away with somehow, so he can carry on. Wow, that is...
a lucky boy.
That is lucky, yeah, that's very lucky. He's still in behind Seth Brown here, and they've got to do something about this gap to Bruno Vitorino here, either by passing Bousson here or trying to assist him in any way that they can to get back with the leader of this race right now, Bruno Vitorino. But He's out front in front of Mike Bousson, then Seth Brown, Robert Woodward and Sam Renan also in this group. Here they come down the pit straight now, or the back straight, sorry, towards the pit straight. It's Seth Brown who gets down the inside this time. The straight line speed of the SR10, too much for Mike Bousson again. And Seth Brown moves up to second. He's now leading the charge to try and get past, or get up to, rather, Bruno Vittorino again.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure how Brown's going to do this, to be blatantly honest with you, because I've got a funny feeling that Vittorino just might be too quick as long as he can keep it on the racetrack. Woodward's just gone up the inside of Bousson. Bousson's trying to go around the outside of turn number 1. Woodward's going to have to run up the hill. Renard's trying to come through as well. He's not going to hang about if he gets an opportunity, if Woodward gives it to him. I can tell you that much. But Woodward's now has got a battle in his hands because he's got Renard tucked in behind him and Heinz Braun coming at him.
Oh! What a snap! That was huge for Robert Woodward there. It went one way, then the other. He tried to catch it. What a big load of oversteer this was. Coming through he's barely done anything wrong, really. Just a slightly wrong line, and he's lucky not to hit the wall down there. He's managed to stay out of everybody's way. He's managed to stay out the wall. He's not too badly in the gravel. He's brought quite a lot of it onto the racing line. But he's out of this group for good with a big slide there. That was a big snap, and he never had any chance of saving that.
No, definitely not. He hit the curb, which unsettled the car. And the problem is, after that, it just kind of all just went wiggled. What he probably could have done is pulled a Seth Brown and went up the exit road. He would have been in front at that point, mind you. And I dread to think what the slowdown would have been on that one for Robert Woodward. But, he could have done that, like Seth Brown did in race number 1. But you can see now behind Bousson, this might be Bousson's saving grace here. Renard and Braun just tucked up behind each other, 1 and 2 in race number 1, taken by Braun, sorry. So this could be an interesting battle here, and this might just save Bousson if he can stay where he is.
Yeah, let's see. He's been the sort of the steady one in this group really so far, where all sorts have been going on around him. Recently passed by Seth Brown, of course. No longer Robert Woodward right behind him because of that big spin that we just saw. So he's got a decent chance of a potentially overall podium here, but there's still a long way to go in this race. We're not even a third of the way through the 20 laps ending off the races tonight. This is the officials' distance. Don't forget the 20 laps that we see here. And it's just a bit more spaced out than before. Seth Brown's not exactly fully away from Mike Bousson just yet. Simon Renan not close enough, and neither is Heinz Braun at the moment. Heinz Braun finally now joining this group, but finally a bit of settling in here in this group after the big names have got themselves pretty much back to the front again without fail here. Other than, I guess, Robert Woodward, who was running with these guys. They're all here. All those guys from race 1 are back at the front again.
Yeah, and they didn't really have to do much overtaking, did they? We've had Jan Eric put himself off. Dominic Provera has been off the racetrack as well. We see Robert Woodward snap. We saw Gullickson hit the wall on the straight as well. He got a snap off the grass. We saw the mistake by Stefan Mellis running down the left-hand side. Ray Peasley's been off the circuit as well. So it's not been a difficult route to the front for Renard and Heinz Braun there. Interesting question that, George, to be blatantly honest. Is the 8 faster on the straight? I don't really know if that's true.
No, it's not. I mean, it depends, I guess, who we're looking at. Let's just see Renan and Braun here. I guess, or Brown and Bousson. But just watch. I think some of it does have a lot to do with the individual, actually. I haven't noticed I think Mike Bousson's maybe a bit slower than even the other SR8s. But, I mean, look, he's getting nowhere near Seth Brown. Then again, though, Heinz Braun's not getting that close to Simon Renan, even though he's in this. So I think it's a little bit down to the individual, but it's certainly more balanced than last week, where the 10 was way quicker in a straight line at Imola.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you on that one. I think it's well done this week, George, to be blatantly honest with you. This is bringing great racing with all of these cars mixed in together. Nobody's really pulling away, apart from Vittorino, but he's been aided by the fact that the guys behind have been fighting their heads off, should we say, and literally that's allowed him to open up a 3-second gap. But we did say he was going to be quick because of his moves in race number 1. However, Brown just made a mistake. That's going to allow Bousson to try and come through. Slight little bit of contact. Brown's now slow, wiggling through the corners. Through turn 5 he goes. Bousson over the curb, Braun over the curb. You can see Renard using it there as well. And Brown was a lucky boy, they knew, and he could have got swamped out of that.
Yeah, all of them have been slowed up by this, though, and he might well be shoved to the back of the group anyway here, Seth Brown, if he's not too careful. Coming out of turn 7, that's a good exit from Bousson as well. Just the right amount of sliding as he gets on the power there. He's not too close either, where we have seen that before. But look at this, Bousson's not gaining anything in the slipstream, but Simon Renan is, and that might be allowing him to get through here. It's Bousson who's really the one struggling in a straight line right now, and Simon Renan might be able to take him down the inside here into the final chicane. Bousson's on the outside, and he does stay in front at least for now, but it's he who's got the real slow straight line speed at the moment, and it's Simon Renan who's pretty quick, even compared to Heinz Braun behind him in an SR10. Seth Brown certainly very quick in the straight line. Oh, he's on the grass. Here's Heinz Braun. He's looking everywhere for a move. As outside for Simon Renan, he's looking for that pass. He can't quite manage it there. Can Simon Renan? Of course, the pass that lost him the race in race 1, he was trying to do on Mike Bousson there, but he couldn't quite.
Yeah, absolutely. George has said Mike always runs high downforce, which I'm not quite sure why you would at this track, to be honest. It hasn't got that many corners to worry about. Not quite sure why you need to run high downforce in an 8 period at some of the circuits. Yes, the 8 is quicker compared to last week, I will give you that, George, but it's quite balanced here, actually, to be fair. Not quicker than the 10, but it's balanced in the corners. So yeah, but I think Bousson, if he is running high downforce, I'm not entirely sure why you would want to at this circuit.
It's clearly a driver preference thing. I don't think it's a thing that he thought, well, Road Atlanta, I must put on a lot of downforce. Just the way he likes to drive the SR8, I think, it is with a lot of downforce on. As Sam Renan gets down the inside, that's wrong-footed Heinz Braun, who gets caught up with that. But in any case, Bousson loses out on what is the class lead, don't forget, in the SR8s there to Simon Renan. As I say, I think it's a driver preference thing, but it's not helping Mike Bousson right now.
No, it definitely isn't. He's getting swamped at this moment in time. He's losing so much time down the straight. It's actually quite scary. Now, I do want to pick up on Silver and Woodward. They've had a right old ding-dong over the last lap or so. Woodward getting past Silver, and unfortunately for Silver now, Woodward is motoring off a little bit, but that isn't a surprise considering how much pace Robert had in race number 1, and he was just unlucky, and he's been unlucky in race number 2, to be honest. But now Renard is closed right in on the back. He's got Bousson tucked up, but now he's got Brown in front of him, and this might be the difference between the high downforce and the low downforce here, because Renard might be able to pull Brown in.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think this it is more useful to take it on as a driver-by-driver thing here, because Simon Renan certainly is a lot quicker here, even maybe than Seth Brown in a straight line. Certainly when he's got the slipstream here, he's going to look to the outside. He's going to have to brake very late out there, but he's not going to do it. He's going to go for the exit instead off of this chicane, and here we go. Look at that exit there from Simon Renan. He's down the inside in time for the final turn, and that's exactly where you want to be, although he's slowed up too much. Here comes Mike Bousson as well. Seth Brown's going to take that place back, and Bousson with the extra downforce is going to roar around the outside, and Braun's going to try and follow through, much like what he did in race 1 to Simon Renan in that fight for the lead. He can't quite manage that, but Bousson gets back in front of Renan again, even after Simon Renan looked like he was going to gain a place himself.
And that saved him coming out of turn 11 there, because you saw Renan had to tighten up, and as he tightened up, he lost so much time. Bousson settled in behind the draft of Brown and has managed to use that draft just to pull him in front. The question is here is how close has Bousson got to be able to limit the draft from Brown? He's about as close as he needs to be here. And for Mike Bousson, I would literally just push him down the straight if I can.
See if he can get into position here. I mean, he's not even fast enough to do that here in the slipstream, but the draft that he's getting might just help him here, and there you go. So yeah, Simon Renan is able to not able to get past as well, even while Bousson is in the slipstream there. We are over halfway, by the way, 11 laps completed here of the 20. So this looks like it's a battle that might well continue right to the end. We just had a small lull just before the 1/3 mark of this race, but since then this is the group that's really been providing a lot of action for us.
Yeah, these 4 cars having a right old proper ding-dong. Buson leading the class in the SR8s, of course. Vitorino is, I don't know, he's somewhere down the race circuit coming in through turn 5 at the moment, while these guys are just starting their descent down the hill. So Vitorino doing a great job out in front, but these guys are... well, they've helped him a lot. Let's just put it that way, considering they've been fighting. But bad exit for Brown, bad exit for Renan, and Buson trying to go around the outside of Seth Brown in that corner. Is he going to be able to hold it there? He does manage to hold it.
Oh, he's gone! He committed to turn 7 there because that was the only way he was going to pass Seth Brown. There wasn't any contact. He just committed too hard there, and he spins out of the group now. He's down to 5th, and he's going to be hoping for trouble here between these 3. Seth Brown's going to hold on from Sam Renan this time. I mean, Heinz Braun's the one who's going to be making the move. Looks down the inside. Oh, he looked like he was going to get into Brown there himself, but in the end, he manages to back out of that one, and it's a 1-2-3 now for the SR10s. And you can't say that's particularly down to the cars themselves. It's down to the drivers. And the SR8 drivers have just faltered in the last few moments of this race.
Yeah, just seen it there as well. Buson went for a great opportunity. He tried to run through the outside of 6 and 7. And unfortunately for him, he just couldn't get it slowed down enough going into 7. Hit the brakes. Car slowed down, but the back end went round. Now he's got to help for Renard and Braun to fight with Brown to try and drop that 3-second gap. He's got 7 laps to do it. But it's going to be tough. They've got to go backwards and forwards every lap for him to be able to achieve this.
Yeah, indeed. Well, it's been the battle we've been watching for pretty much this entire race now. It's hard to pick the 2 out of the 3 who are going to finish on the podium, really. It's difficult to see Sam Renan being properly distanced here by these 2, even though he has just gone to the back of the group. He's in the slipstream of Heinz Braun here, but of course Braun has his own slipstream from Seth Brown. So is that going to just provide a level playing field here that just keeps everything the same? Or is this only going to last for a lap or 2? It's going to be a good exit there off of the final turn from Simon Renan. If he can possibly get through on the way down towards turn 1. He's close here as they come down towards turn 1. He looks to the inside, can't do it. Here goes Heinz Braun to the inside as well on Seth Brown. And there he goes, making the pass that won him the race, although on the inside at turn 1 this time rather than the outside. Won him race 1, Heinz Braun. He's now into 2nd place in race 2.
Yeah, Braun now moving forward. I think Brown, I don't know, he should be, I'm going to say he should have the pace to hold on from Renan. As long as he can stay within draft distance of Braun. I think once he's done that, he might be all right. The other battles, I went to go down to Woodward and Glover because they were really close, and then now you've dropped away from each other. Mellis and Peasley are having a right old ding-dong, and Peasley's leading the championship, let's not forget. But that could be the fact he's been here for all 4 races ahead of Pavera and Silva. Braun has only done 3, Glover's only done 3 rounds as well. So for Peasley, he's in a great job. As long as he can keep it on the racetrack, he's going to score points. Let's not forget that. And, you know, for him, Road Atlanta might not just be his race. Let's just put it that way for him. So great job from Peasley overall, but him and Mellis having a little bit of a ding-dong further back as well. We've lost Ollie Gullickson. We've lost Scresford there as well. So both of them are out. 15.6 for Vitorino, 7.5 seconds. Brown and Renan not really closing any gaps, not really making any changes, and Mellis is not getting any closer either.
Yeah, it's just holding a little bit for the moment, but again, I said this earlier in the race, and it suddenly exploded back into life again. Heinz Braun does look pretty quick in that 2nd place right now. I mean, no one's catching Bruno Vitorino, but he might be able to distance Seth Brown at least, and that would just relax him a little bit in the final moments. That's not relaxing. That's a big moment over the top of turn 5 there. He might have a slowdown for that because he goes so wide. He definitely will get one off track for clipping the gravel there and going wide. Amazing that he was able to gather it up without losing so much time there.
Yeah, great job from Braun on that one. That could have been a lot worse coming through 5 at that moment in time. So he got really lucky. But the problem is, you see, for him, well, it ain't a problem for him, because to be honest with you, he needs Brown and Renard to fight for him to be able to open up a gap. Brown just staying in front. I think the pace of the 10 just a little bit quick for the 8 on the straight, but the 8's got a great run. Watch Renard run out of turn 11. He's been flying out of here all evening. Again, look how close he is coming up to the back of Braun. That 8 coming out of that that corner. If you get it right, and Renard has definitely got it right, is doing a great job.
Well, this is a chance for Renan if he wants to take it. It's in towards turn 1 where he should be stronger in that SR8, but he just gets the line wrong there as well, so he can't even stay particularly close here. Looks like Heinzbrun's got the speed here to pull away from Seth Brown, actually, and hold on to second in this race. It's going to be a battle between Seth Brown and Sam Renan, I think, for third and that final spot on the podium here. Seth Brown finished 10th in the first race, don't forget, and that meant he started on pole for this one. He might be disappointed that he's going to end the race at nearly 10 seconds, probably over 10 seconds by the end, to the race leader, considering I would say he was the favourite for this race coming into it when we knew that it was him who was starting on pole for the reverse grid.
Yeah, it was, but did you see his start? It was shocking from Seth Brown, and he ain't going to mind me saying it because it absolutely was shocking in race number 2. He got absolutely swamped. Buson went past him right at the beginning. Mellis went past him as well. And it really is, as you say, down to the driver a lot of the time, what they do off that line, and he just couldn't shift it off the line. I'm not quite sure what's happened to Dominic Pavera here, but wherever he is, he's jumped himself back to pit lane.
What is going on there? He's got no. It's like he's got no. It's like an engine failure or something. Is he in neutral there? Is he? No, he's in first.
Has he got anything though? That's the problem for Dominic Pavera. What did he do? Did he? He didn't run out of fuel.
Might be out of fuel there. It is.
It
is spluttering a bit.
Yeah. That's weird.
Maybe he's just not changed his fuel load from race 1 to 2. I mean, that happened on lap 14, by the way, which was a lap and a half longer. He'd made it a lap and a half longer than what the first race is, so just that little bit of insurance fuel there. But that would make sense if he's forgotten to change the fuel load, then and then just not thought about it, because obviously you don't need to pit in these races, so why would you think about pitting at all? You wouldn't check how much fuel you've got because in your head you've just presumed that you have enough, and yeah, maybe he did run out of fuel there. That might well be him out of the day. Here comes Simon Renan on Seth Brown. Not quite able to do that on this occasion. Seth Brown parks it in the middle of the road. Renan very nearly goes straight into the back of him with 3 laps to go.
But that's the problem. They do that, and then watch Renard's run. He gets a great run out of 11 and really closes in on the back of Brown going into turn number 1. So although that's great from Brown, great defending, but it really does hinder the 10 coming out of that corner because of the fact that the 8 can get a good exit on it. So yeah, Brown survived, but I wouldn't really want to be looking at doing that every single time if I could help it if I was Seth Brown.
Got to be careful with that. I mean, maybe he's just going to put his trust in Simon Renan not to crash into him, but
maybe.
We'll see about that. Coming up towards the important corners again, turn 6 and 7 again, which might allow him to get an opportunity to go past here. There'll be 2 laps to go at the line, so 3 more chances at this. 3 more run through the back straight, and that wasn't a very good run from Seth Brown. Is Renan there too quickly? He might well be. He pulls alongside now, about halfway down. This might be okay. As long as he can stay alongside, by the time they hit the brakes, then he's got a chance here. He's still got an overlap. He's going to try and brake late. He can't do it. He should have committed a bit more to that. He's looking for the exit, though. He wants the exit, which hasn't worked for him before. Oh, he's got a big slide there. He tries to get this podium in dramatic fashion. He just stepped on the gas too heavy there. He slid there massively, and he's only just caught it. Seth Brown able to hold on. That was Simon Renan's chance there. He had a chance on the brakes at the chicane itself and a great chance on the power out of the chicane, and he just couldn't do it again.
Yeah, unfortunately for Renard, that was the problem, wasn't it? But did you see the run again out of 11? I think if Renard's going to go and get him, that's where he's going to get him. I think it could be a run down to the line from these guys. But I've just got a funny feeling that Brown might just about hold on here. I don't know what's telling me that, but I've just got this funky feeling that Brown's going to hold on. But yeah, definitely not good from Brown with Renard coming at him through turn 11.
Wow. That was the chance, I think. I'm not sure he's going to get a better one than that here, Simon Renan, to get onto the podium. He is going to take the SR8 class win, by the way, as long as he doesn't crash here and let Mike Booston through somehow. But Anyway, that's not going to be much consolation, I don't think, at the moment. He'll want that podium. Seth Brown's easily able to hold on this time, and Renon's getting more ragged here, as you can see. Every time they come out of the chicane there, he's getting more and more ragged. And that, by the way, is the final time through the chicane with a run down towards turn 1 as well. If he's going to do it at the final chicane, he's going to have to get past by the start-finish line there, which, of course, comes very soon after the final turn.
Yeah, you can see how close they were gridding. And I think, to be honest with you, it could be the only track that grid and end in the same place, aren't they? Because I thought they were further down the start-finish line on that one.
I'm not sure it's the only track, but it's certainly one of the few.
Yeah, because Fuji, you're right down the middle and then you're right at the end. Spa's the same, you're down in the middle and back on the end. Imola's the same, because you're up around the kink and then you finish just before it.
Yeah, it's not so common, but
it isn't.
It is the case here at Road Atlanta. In any case, Bruno Vittorino is about to take that checkered flag at the start-finish line here. A great race from him. A great run through the field in race 1 to get him a podium place. This time, a great run through the field to get him a win. Race 2 at Road Atlanta goes to Bruno Vittorino. A brilliant day for him as he flashes his lights across the line. Heinz Braun's had a similarly good day as well, with a first place in race 1 and a second place in race 2. And Seth Brown in the background does hold on to an SR10 1-2-3 and a podium for himself as well.
Yeah, great job from him. Robert Woodward comes over the line with Buson, who has gone and decided that was a good idea.
Well, he doesn't need that car anymore.
No, look how naked it looks. It's quite weird, isn't it?
It's like it's obscene.
Yeah.
Mellis is going to hold on from Ray Peasley as well. How is I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. How is Ray Peasley still in the SR10 Championship lead? I don't really understand.
Consistency.
Yeah, I suppose so.
You don't have to win a race to win the championship.
No, true, but it does help.
No. I know it does help. I just said it doesn't have to. And I think consistency. It was the same with, actually, while you're there, it was the same with Krish Patel in another series that we had. He didn't win a race till the end of the season.
That's true, yeah. That's true. It is true. Let's have a look, shall we, at the race results for the final time today. Bruno Vittorino, the winner, pretty comfortably in the end, in front of Heinz Braun, with Seth Brown holding on to that podium in front of Simon Renon as well. Mike Bousson held off Robert Woodward there towards the end. Phil Glover got up 4 places to finish 7th. Patricio Silva was 8th. Had a Stefan Mellis who held off Ray Peasley. Dominic Pavera was the last driver to finish. He did actually get back out there again after his running out of fuel. Ollie Gullikson and Yannick Stressrud did retire from the race. By the way, on the point of championship points, I do think that Heinz Braun, with those results, might have overtaken Ray Peasley now, or certainly would have gotten very close. And that's pretty impressive considering that Heinz Braun missed last week. Ray Peasley's been with us every week so far. Let's have a chat to Heinz Braun, shall we? Probably the most points of anybody out of today, but we'll see about that. Heinz, welcome in and congratulations on a good set of races today. First of all, race 1, where you were able to take the victory there. Let's talk about that. A great pass on Simon Renon on the very final lap. Just tell us about that last lap there and how you felt making that pass for the win there.
Yeah, I thought I have to try it somehow. I don't know if I hadn't, or like the balance of the cars was a little bit better, I think. So the straight line speed of the SR8 was quite high. I was surprised. So it wasn't that easy. But I knew that he can maybe push out and do the flick flag and go in the inside outside right turn of the corner. But this time I slowed him a little bit more down so that I was lucky to keep him behind me. So what a great battle and a lot of fun to fight with him.
Yeah, absolutely. And race 2, there was a great fight as well that you eventually managed to get yourself through, as likes of Simon Renon again, but also Seth Brown and Mike Bousson involved in that. Do you feel you got the most out of tonight with second place in race 2? Because that battle behind you continued on even after you'd gotten through there, and a first and a second on the night you must be pretty pleased with.
Yeah, I'm pleased with it because Bruno had enough time, or let's say if the SR8 or the SR10 has 2 or 3 seconds gap, it's quite difficult to close the gap, because we are, or most drivers here are on the same level and quite good on a certain track. So I think that was lucky, even that I came through that gaggle. I would say was a lot of fun to see what is the best tactic to come through the field. We lost Robert at some point. That was a little bit pity, because maybe one of the high curbs he went a little bit sideways and then was out. But also great fun on this track to do these I'd say these fights in the draft, and always a pleasure.
Well, congratulations on two great race results here tonight, Heinz, and thanks for chatting to us at the end of the race as well.
Thank you as well. Bye-bye.
Thanks very much, Heinz Braun, the first and second place in our two races today. Seth Brown managed to get on the podium in the second race and joins us now as well. Seth, welcome in. Congratulations on a podium in race 2, especially here tonight, holding on from Sam Renaud at the end there. Just tell us about the fight between the two of you towards the end. Did you believe the whole way through that you were going to hold on, or are you surprised with this podium?
No, very surprised. I borrowed somebody's setup and didn't really test it, and I was so loose that I'm surprised that I actually stayed on the track. But hey, it was fun. Very brown trousers, but fun.
Yeah, I absolutely. I mean, what about off the back of race number 1? Because unfortunately for you, it was again a story of good fights to watch throughout, and you were involved in it all, and then obviously an incident that took you out of it. I've got to say, a very smart bit of thinking for you to cut half the racetrack off and come to the pit lane back the way you did. That was very smart, and it also got you a pole for race 2. But just tell us how you feel after race number 1, having gone through all that and managed to at least keep 10th place, which obviously gave you that pole.
Yeah, I think I did the crash in race 1, but I obviously don't know whether, because I was so close to everybody, I think I just oversteered it. So I don't know if that's how you saw it, but I just saw me losing the back end. And that was a taste of what was to come with this. Every turn I went into, it was just kind of right on the edge. Was it a master stroke to get P1? No, not really. I just took a shortcut because it was there.
Well, I thought it was very smart. It worked out in the end.
I should have shut up. I'll take the credit. Yeah.
Well, yeah, absolutely take the credit. No, congratulations on getting that second race podium, of course, and thanks for chatting to us as well at the end tonight.
No problem. Good to speak to you guys.
Thanks very much. Seth Brown, third place in race 2 tonight. Also there, and Phil Glover also obviously, as always, will come to join us. Phil, welcome in. Good to have you with us again. How is that for you tonight? 11th place in race 1 and 7th place in race 2. Now, I didn't actually see what happened to you in race 1, first of all. So so let's start there. What happened in race 1?
So qualifying, basically I had a problem with the VR. It cut out, and so I think I got one lap in, but literally it would have almost been, well, it was the next lap to my out lap. So and I'd been putting in pretty decent times in practice, so I was a little bit fed up with that. And then I made a mistake. I can't remember what it was. I clipped the curb, and it took me off into the undergrowth, so back to the pits then. And then I had a fairly quick stint after that. I caught a few people up, but yeah, never really made a lot of places because I was so far back. I unlapped myself a couple of people, I think. And then the second race was quite good fun, really. Where did that 7th? You said I finished.
Yeah.
So that wasn't too shabby. But yeah, it was okay, really. How's it for you guys?
I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed it, actually. I thought that you tell me what you think from inside the car, but it felt to me that the balance between the SR8s and 10s was a little bit more even. You weren't here last week, were you?
No, but I did watch it. Yeah.
No, yeah. It was a little bit uneven in the favour of the SR10, especially when it came to straight line speed. And to be honest, the adjustments made weren't major, actually. And hats off to George for not swinging the other way, because I would have done. To be honest, I would have made some major changes and obviously got it wrong, because this was pretty much a perfect balance, I thought. Did you feel that when you were around SR8s that it was pretty pretty well balanced this week as well?
I did actually, to be honest. We made a reasonable amount up if we could get into draft, but then you do in any car if you're in the same one. So we didn't really have major advantage down the straight. I didn't think, but the corners, they weren't as quick through the corners, I didn't think, or let's say it suited the SR10s better than it would normally do. So I thought it was quite balanced.
Yeah, I thought so. Made for a very good evening viewing, that's for sure. Phil, thanks for chatting to us as always, and look forward to seeing you again next week.
Yeah, James, where are we?
Silverstone.
Just thought I'd drop that in.
I figured you wouldn't know, Phil. I don't know why it surprised me that you would have.
Silverstone, yeah, it's a bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree with you, Phil, on that one.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Silverstone.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
boring. It's boring and flat. It's horrible.
It was great when you were flying back from the war and you saw a big, flat, open space, but in terms of racing around it, nah.
No, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Fine.
All right.
I'll be outvoted. Thanks for chatting to us, Phil. We'll see you at Silverstone, at boring Silverstone.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
See you later.
Thanks very much, Phil Glover there, chatting to us at the end tonight. And that will just about do it for us. As we were discussing there with Phil, I thought that was a very, very evenly balanced SR8 versus SR10 format, and it is a great format. I've thoroughly enjoyed it since it's been introduced. The choice, I mean, it always used to be a point of discussion, didn't it, whether we're going to use the 10s or the 8s for a season, and I'd imagine it put a few people off actually joining us when we selected one or the other. Now you can go with either, and see with every week there's more learning on what the balance of performance should be, and tonight was pretty much perfect. That was I thought very, very even between the 8s and the 10s there.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I think tonight was good. George Dad said in YouTube chat next week maybe another 1% power on the 8. They'll need that at Silverstone, to be fair.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see. I mean, it isn't one of those with long straights, but there's a lot of flat out at the high speed bits, which you may need the power for. And yeah, obviously another percent of power, referring to the fact that they're on 104% this week rather than 103% last week. You wouldn't think that make much of a difference, but actually it made quite a lot of a difference here tonight, I thought. So maybe they'll be getting another bit of power, and we'll see how evenly balanced it is. If it's anything like this week, it will be a fantastic watch. So make sure you join us again next Thursday for that broadcast. Of course, it'll be live on JPB YouTube channel as always, and the Radical Race Series YouTube channel as always on a Thursday night about 9 PM UK time. I've been doing O'Leary alongside James Parfitt here tonight from Road Atlanta. We'll see you again in 1 week at Silverstone. Goodbye for now.